Hello, this is Berzinsky for Beardbrand, and today with the aid of a side mirror, comb and scissor, we're going to take things up. So it's time. I've been talking about getting a beard trim, a major trim, for quite a while. It was back in December that I got a big beard trim, and then I tidied it up a couple of times, taking a ½ inch off each time since then, in March and then again in May. And here we are in July, and my beard is pretty much the length it was, maybe a tad longer than it was in December. And I want to take it up a bit, and by a bit I'm talking maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I'd like to grow my beard and have it this length for the fall, but for the remainder of the summer I'm going to take it up a little bit. I've also noticed that as it's gotten longer and it starts to look thinner on the bottom, especially with my white beard, since it's not overtly curly, and the white texture of the hair, when it gets particularly long, when I'm wearing dark clothes, it becomes transparent at the bottom. It's not a look that I want anyhow, and so I'm going to take it up to avoid that. With your own beard, you'll find out what the limitations are on your beard. And I know the limitations on mine, given the fact that I have significant thinner patches, bald patches on the side here, reducing my overall thickness by probably 15–20%. And the fact that I have such straight hair, both are strikes in terms of putting forth the best beard possible. But I've been able to manage to work what I have to its best advantage. But I know my limitations. So don't be afraid, and I talked about this before, trimming your beard if it looks best at a certain length. I'm not interested in a beard growing contest, and so I think the best length for me is probably up here, and we'll see how that goes. So talking about using a hand mirror, in this case I have a tabletop mirror. It's pretty large, probably 9 inches in diameter. And with the aid of this, I'll be able to check the side of my beard, getting the length on the side in order. I'll do probably most of the cutting in my main reflection, but I'll be looking off to the side in order to see if I'm cutting it properly. It's very difficult to cut your beard in a mirror. What you have to realize is that it's best to just watch the reflection. Do not watch your hands, do not watch the other mirror. But concentrate on what you're looking at, the mirror that you're looking at. So keep that in mind if you're using a hand mirror. So let's get started. I'm going to get started by cutting the front to a certain point, and then I'll be checking it on the sides with this tabletop mirror. So let's go. First cut is always the hardest. As I've said before in other videos, I'm cutting my beard dry. I don't want it shrinking up, curling up, so it's best to cut it at the condition where I'm going to see what it's most naturally going to look like. In that case, slightly styled today and dry. So I'm going to take the first cut across the front. Gives you an idea of how straight my beard is when you see it bluntly cut across the bottom. So that's probably about 1.5 inches off the total length, and I think that's going to be where I want to be. It's going to be drastically short, I think, for a lot of people. But if you go back and look at some of my other videos where I got the beard trim in December, and very few people even noticed. So I'm cutting it a little deeper. Keep pulling through the hair to make sure that there's no hairs that were snaggled up there. Especially if your beard is curlier, you want to pull it through. Do not stretch it when you're cutting it. Pull it down, take the cut, Pull it down again, and then you'll see stray hairs that were caught up in the curls or the wave of your beard. For example, those, you'll see those right there. Wearing a dark shirt so you can actually see the amount of hair that I'm actually cutting off here. If I do this anyhow, I'd probably do this without a shirt. Once again, I'm watching my mirror reflection only. Not watching the hand below me, keeping my eyes on the image in the mirror. So first rough pass through my beard, pretty blunt, no hair taken off the side. This is the area actually where I do want to cut a little more. So that's the hard, blunt cut. I'm going to come back in and soften this edge. Let's check this in the side mirror. So this is pretty blunt. I'm going to knock this corner off in the back. I'm looking in the side view mirror here. And, you know, just kind of take a little bit of the weight off the back here. Described my beard before when it's curled under as a Verde beard. This has a more of a Van Dyke look when it's actually flipped out like this. I'm going to post up this picture here. I recently posted this on Instagram, and people actually commented that they really liked the length of that beard. I actually think that's the length of beard that looks the best on me. So I'm actually looking in mirror and a mirror within a mirror. It's very Inception. So checking this by tilting your head up, as I've said before, checking to see if it's straight across the front. And seeing that, I can see that this side is slightly longer. I'm not going to touch my mustache right now. I'm actually going to leave my mustache a little fuller. I want to be able to pull up the handlebars, especially with a little shorter beard, to match that picture that I had put up before. When you cut your beard, when you get a big haircut, you might walk out of the barber and have that, oh my gosh, what did I do moment. And I'm actually not even having that. I've seen myself with this length of beard probably, what, 3 times a year. It's been shorter, longer, shorter, longer. Over the course of 4 years, I've had this beard before. Consider changing up your style. You can have a signature look. I have a signature, I think, color, not so much a length of beard. So what is your signature look? But don't be afraid to vary that look by changing the length, changing the proportion of mustache to beard, going to the beard stash. There's many options. They're all beards, and you might find a look in that journey of changing it up from time to time that you might prefer more than others. Keep a note of that, and you can come back to it later sometime. I'm going to knock off this corner and take a lot of the weight off right here. Often when I trim my beard or when I trim my sideburns, it's been about 2.5 weeks since I went to the barber. I'll just reach up here and clean up around the ear. So you can see that there's a lot of weight on here. I have to be very careful if I start taking a lot of weight out of here just because of the way it's styled today. That might not be what I want tomorrow. So I'm going to comb my beard straight down, thinking that's probably the way I'm going to wear it most. And I can still see that this corner on the back of my beard, look in the mirror, Greg, is where I really want to take off. This was a number 2 or number 1.5 when they cut it before. I'm just going to make a slight transition into the beard weight by taking a little of this hair off. So the way I style it tomorrow will actually, I'll coax this hair in, probably with the hair dryer, and mostly product by using the styling balm. I'll be able to get this hair down. I want as much on my beard, as much mass as possible. So I'll pull that forward, and that'll be a styling maneuver more than anything. So I'm going to do the other side. So that's the major cutting. As I've shown before, I'm going to soften this edge here. So I'm pulling these hairs out, pulling it up, knocking the corner off. So it looks pretty harsh right now. What I'm going to do is actually add a little bit of water and some styling balm and show you how I soften that up even without blow drying it. So taking just a little bit of water, activating product that I had in my hair from this morning, taking some of the Temple Smoke styling balm, just a little dab. Voila, here we have it. A pretty major trim at home. Not for everyone, of course. You need to practice to get to that level. I would start with a 1/2 inch trim just across the bottom, just starting that way if you want to take a bigger trim and work up to it to take something bigger. Of course, as I said before, I'll give this a day or two and I'll come back to it. I'll probably find a stray hair or two. I've even found that from a barber shop I've pulled through it, there's a couple of hairs that are uncut. So over the course of the next couple of days, I will just pull out my scissors and trim those things accordingly. But this is a guy that I actually recognize. I actually tend not to associate myself with that bigger beard that I've actually just cut off. I have a neck now, and so that's a good thing. And I know a certain Mrs. Berzinsky will appreciate this. And I think my beard actually looks healthier and stronger at this length. So comment below. I know we're going to get a lot of people who say they prefer it longer. And it's great to have opinions, but be nice. I'm thinking I'm feeling really comfortable with this. So pretty happy with myself. So comment below, tell us what you think. And until we meet again, beard on.
Beardbrand is a premium men's grooming company with products not only for your beard, but also your hair and body. Do yourself a favor and head over to beardbrand.com and take care of yourself. Or you can stick around and watch a few more of our awesome videos.